Well, we're picking up, Tim, where we left off last night with one exception. Hadi Choopan is actually in this call-out. 24 hours later, still holding some good condition.
Has anybody improved? Has anybody stepped up? Is Ramy tighter?
I think we find that out as they start to hit the poses.
Gracious.
It's hard to tell until they actually are flexing. Right now, this is the relaxed round. And some of these guys, they come alive when they start to squeeze and flex and pose.
All right, our weekend's ambassador, Lee Haney, making his way back here with us.
Congratulations, Lee, on that recognition at the opening of the show.
We got our first call out here, boss. Biggest stage in the Olympia history, and they still need to spread out as big as these guys are.
We were talking last night, Lee, how we thought Ramy was a little bit off from a year ago, but off for him right now. I still think the water is not all the way come up.
No,
what do you see?
It haven't. Still just a towel is still on him, you know. It appears Brandon has got better. Hadi is, I mean, just as we said last night, he's nice and tight.
He brought the conditioning, but we also talked about off camera when it was over and looked back, shoulders are a little bit funky. They look a little suspicious.
But guys, I know it's not just a big muscle contest. How do you beat Big Ramy? Look at that. He is massive.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about. Like, you have to have a little bit of everything, not just the mass, which is where Brandon was able to kind of close the door a little bit, or at least close the gap between the two. Now, Lee, you were mentioning about the lower back on Big Ramy. It's not fully developed to your liking. Like, does it need a little bit more down in here? This big area.
A little bit. Need a little bit more thickness in that lumbar area, you know. Yeah. But I would say he's better tonight than he was last night.
Yeah, I think across the board.
Yeah.
They all posed really hard yesterday, and they dried out today. They had another 24 hours to dry out. They know what's at stake.
Brandon is holding his own.
We are looking for that knockout punch, though.
But you know, he's like, okay, what do you choose here? You know, Brandon, nice broad shoulders, nice tapering waist, beautiful package. Big Ramy, size, mass. The reigning Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you have to knock the reigning Mr. Olympia out cold.
Right.
You just can't tiptoe and win him and beat him.
Abdominals and thighs, guys. This is a telltale pose right here. They're all looking good, but
Hadi's got great abdominals. Yeah, Hadi's in shape.
Yeah. He's in shape.
That's his pose.
Yeah. Man, this is a good one.
Great, most muscular for Brandon right there. Hadi's legs have got some separation in them.
Wow. Man, that's going to be a tough one.
It's really.
Last year, Ramy knocked their socks off from the first pose. It's not happening right now.
You know, I wasn't here last year to see it personally, but the photos blew me away. When I saw Ramy standing there, he separated himself.
Right, that was a year ago. How about now?
Now, it's a little too close. Too close for comfort.
All right, gents. William Bonac and the new Jacks. Here, Ian, Nick, and Hunter out there battling for the top 5.
Well, I think the new guys, I think Nick and Labrada in this lineup stand out.
Yeah.
William Bonac, I think, missed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Quarter turn right.
Okay. I got to say, though,
let's hear it. What do you got to say?
I'm waiting.
Ian's dried up a little bit, you said?
Ian has dried up.
He sure has.
Front double bicep.
Okay, there are.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm drawn to Nick on this pose.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the midsection on Nick, and he hits the double bicep, he's able to flex the abs. But Labrada's hitting that pose a lot nicer.
That's for the amount of mass he's carrying, that's a really artful pose for him.
Yeah.
Really balanced.
I tell you, Nick looks great. Him and Hunter both looks great. Bodnak has gotten better since last night too.
Right. I mean, I think across the board, something happened with this lighting. It looks a little bit more brighter.
Wow.
And guys, we talked a lot last night about comparing different eras. But this is just, I mean, Lee, what's this looking like next level, this era, how big and how developed and how balanced some of these guys are?
Well, you know, it's like I said, it's a different era, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's the way I see it.
The Labrada is beautiful in this pose right here.
He is. Waist tapers very well, shoulders nice and broad. Serratos look good.
Yeah, his calves are nice.
Now, you guys talked about...
That's his father's pose right there, the way he hits it.
Sure is.
You guys talked about Ramy posing smaller. Hunter just kind of shrunk down, and it spread out from the back. It spread out his quad sweep and his hams and really sized him up.
Yeah, I think Bonak's the odd man out right here. He's hitting his quads, just not popping like they did last time we saw him.
Yeah, we've seen him much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
He's rounder and fuller, but yeah, we've seen him much better.
That's a great shot for Hunter, too. And Ian.
Yeah, they both have some good, most muscular poses.
Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line, please.
Wow. Excellent, excellent.
Mohammed, Roly, Justin, and Akeem.
All right, now, Akeem Williams, so we're somewhere in that 9 to 12 range, 9 to 14 range.
And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. There's a big difference between 9 to 14, 9 to 12. I mean, for bragging rights, if nothing else.
Akeem and Mohammed, switch, please.
These guys have all competed, I believe, multiple times this year, Tim. I know I saw Justin, I saw Akeem. I think Roly I only saw one time this year.
Now, is that Justin there at number 11?
Yes, that's Justin.
He looks really good.
Yeah, good structure.
This is Justin.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lee?
He looks good.
He's got good shape. Here's where Roly is a little thick in the midsection. And soft in the hamstrings and glutes. So he knows he's off the mark. Just a little too much to close the gap tonight. But so is Akeem from the back.
Turn right.
Yeah.
And face front.
This is where Roly needs to be mindful of his waist when he's in between poses to make sure he keeps it flexed.
Exactly.
When you relax and breathe through your stomach, it's not a good look.
No. I mean, from one transition to the next, you got to be at attention.
Yeah.
You can't never relax. Never relax.
And that's another dig on the era, isn't it, Lee? That there's a lot of these very in the deep breath between poses, a lot of extended, distended out abdomens. And it looks like this crop has really dialed that in with their posing. A lot of these guys are very, very tight with their abs.
Well, yes, they've had to make some changes there because there's been a lot of talk about it.
Arnold was complaining too, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, you never let your gut relax.
And I think that's where you got to learn the art of breathing through your chest, through your nose.
That's right.
And not so much when you breathe in heavily through your mouth, you're going to breathe with your stomach, your diaphragm.
Hey, and then you got to be in shape, Sean.
Yeah,
you got to be in shape to pose.
Yeah.
I never forget, Joe Weider would have me in his office for like 2 hours at a time. Leap, pull your waist in, flex your back, keep your abs at attention. Yeah, don't let your obliques drop.
He's bringing you to things that you're flexing your back, but you forgot about your hamstrings and your calves, right?
Exactly, that's right.
He loved the sport of bodybuilding and trying to help.
Yeah, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Now, these guys, for just any era, would be, and they are incredibly impressive. But there is a decent disparity between each call-out.
Correct.
Between the size and the conditioning, especially the conditioning, of the first three to where we are now.
Yeah, and like anything else, you're going from the cream of the crop to the guys that are almost kind of missed the mark. I believe these guys, again, they competed multiple times this year.
And Akeem switch.
Tell you, it's hard to continue to repeat top conditioning.
Right.
The body just got to have rest.
Yeah.
It has
Your
to be
favorite most
detox.
muscular.
You know, the liver and the kidney has to get a rest. All the receptors got to be, you know, it's got to get a rest. You got to have a balance.
That's a great pose for Justin and Muhammad.
Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line, please.
Yeah, I think Muhammad and Justin in this division right here, I think they were 1 and 2 in that call-out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be your 9 and 10.
Patrick, Andrea, Hassan, and James.
All right, James Hollingshead, Regan Grimes, Patrick Moore. Regan's 3rd Olympia appearance, James's 1st.
Well, Reagan looks really good for a young guy.
James and Reagan switch.
The structure on Reagan is just carrying him, but again, a little bit more size for his height. He's the tallest one up there.
Gentlemen, quarter turn to the right.
He's on the way.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he maintained, you know, good muscle separation as he began to add more muscle
Quarter
size.
turn
That's
right.
very important.
Right. And again, shape can take you so far. Like Patrick Moore has great shape.
Quarter
Look at how
turn right.
wide the back is. But he's got to put that meat down there on the calves. Got to get those hamstrings a little bit more blown out.
And with the massive
Face
gain
front.
between seasons, just a touch more conditioning. Because
Yeah.
he did put on a good 15, 20 pounds, it looks like.
But he
double
also
bicep.
said he was going to skip the show. So if your mind's telling you one thing and your body's taking you in another direction, you don't always peak at the same time.
He's got a nice package, though.
Front lat
Very
spread.
nice package.
Hollinghead, he's big, but the midsection is kind of washed out.
Yes.
Relax.
Yes.
Hassan and James switch, please.
I like his calves. He's got good calves. And this is our big guy. Look at his
Oh,
those
man.
things.
Side
Wow.
chest.
He just can laugh. He's just so thick.
That you guys talked last night about only training one body part a week. I'm looking at those quads thinking they're getting 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, you know, they get so big that he may only be training them once a week.
Back double bicep.
And he's under training them in his mind. But see, a lot of times it's like that, Lee. The muscle will go one place, and what you want in another
Back
place,
lat
it's hard to
spread.
put it on. It's hard to put it on
Yeah,
the back,
yeah.
but it's all going down to the legs.
I'm telling you, man. It's a science.
Yeah.
It's a science.
Arnold talked about that once. When you're trying to improve the areas that are deficient, but you can't spot gain any more than you can
tricep.
spot reduce.
That's true. I remember Arnold said he used to wear shorts because he knew his calves were weak, and it would remind him to train his calves first in every workout.
I own shorts too. It doesn't seem to be working.
Hazard looked great in
Abdominals
this
and
shot.
thighs.
Now they're doing this to cut down to, I believe, the top 10 guys that will be in the final
Your favorite
round of
most
posing.
muscular. Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line, please.
Yeah, well, they earned the right to be here.
Absolutely.
Remember, Rolf Mueller, the Gladiator, we only know him because he was in the Olympia before he moved on to movie fame.
That's right. And Rolf was
Hottie,
a
Hunter,
giant.
Ramy, and Brandon.
Now we're getting back down to the meat and potatoes, Lee.
There we go.
So
yeah.
this is kind of what we were talking about last night about Hunter making the grade, and I believe he's going to be battling it out with Hottie Chupin.
Okay, we're about to find out as Steve jockeys these guys around. But who's missing right there, fellas? Nick Walker.
Hottie and Brandon
Missing
switch.
Nick Walker, and you're also missing William Bonek.
Yeah.
Hunter and Ramy switch.
This is where Hunter's genetic structure is carrying the day for him.
Exactly.
And I believe
Beautiful
Steve is going to
blueprint.
give them an
Gentlemen,
opportunity
spread out
tonight
in the
that they
front
did
double
not
bicep.
get last night. Having Hunter in there and having Hottie in there is a big sign of giving them a chance to stand with the champions.
Front lat spread.
Full disclosure, I've been a fan of Lee Labrada's for a long time, and I hosted his show this year thanks to Sean. But
Side
you think
chest.
about genetics, and you think my dad is Lee Labrada, you got a pretty good structure to build on.
I'm going to give Lee some history right here, Lee. Top four, there are these four guys that have been called out right now. When's the last time we saw at a Mr. Olympia that all four had facial hair? Something new.
You know something. They do something new. Never seen that.
Never seen it in all my years.
We had none.
Yeah.
I mean, and nobody before us either.
Let's talk about what we're looking at right now. Potentially could be tonight's top 4 finalists. And if that's the case, they're going to have to trade places as well and mix and match. But right now, the back double bicep, Hadi looks really good here.
Sure does.
Hunter looks good.
Yeah. Hunter's holding his own in this lineup, which I knew he would based on his genetic structure.
Yeah. He got beautiful shape.
And he's carrying the size. He's not being outmasked.
Side tricep.
Hey, I'm looking at Hadi and where he is right now, and I like when they move him around to see how they match up in other directions, not just on the 3 and 4 spot, but in that middle. And he's holding his own.
He is holding his own. I'm a little distracted again. I told you about the shoulders, Lee. What do you see there? They look a little bit swollen.
A little bit odd on both of them.
Yeah, and that's not a good looking body.
Not a good look.
He's conditioned, but I think that might hurt him.
Exactly.
Great vacuum.
Big Ramy's abs are coming in.
Yeah, and I think if he just continues to stay on them, they'll come in even more. I don't know that he'll have the time tonight to bring them in more, because when he's relaxed like that, they kind of disappear, where they didn't last year. Brandon's got a great most muscular.
Brandon tearing that most muscular up.
He is.
Woo, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hunter's improving as he poses.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter and
But
Brandon
I would like
switch.
to see Hunter's chest
Yes.
a little bit more cross striation, a
Ramy
little bit more
and Hadi
complete.
switch.
That is an area that he really got to work on. It's just,
Yeah, we talked last
everything
night.
else is there,
We talked about it last night. When you start to wipe that sweat, he's starting to break out into sweat, right?
Gentlemen, front double
He's
bicep.
moving that around with the oil, so there's still a little film under Hunter Labrada that he's got to be mindful of, because it can go down a notch. I mean, Hadi's in shape. He ain't sweating. Brandon's not sweating.
Oh, that's a good move. That was really smart.
Nice.
Front lat spread.
You see the sweat on Hunter coming across the traps and the shoulders.
Yeah.
And the longer he's going to be up there, the worse it's going to get, which means he's holding a slight film of water.
Yeah.
Well, they got watch parties going on right now across the world. Hadi,
Side chest.
and they got him for Big Ramy. They got him up in Tennessee for Carbon Culture for Brandon. And Hunter, I'm quite certain in Houston right now, that Win the Day gym is lit up with people watching the pay-per-view.
Let me tell you something. There's $400,000 in history at stake. If Brandon Curry wins this tonight, he's one of the few guys to lose and recapture the title. That did not happen in your era league. You held the title, you were greedy with the title, and you crushed a lot of the dreams that we had.
I would have loved to have got that $400,000 though,
Different era.
Woo, baby.
Now you see how shiny Hunter Labrada is from the back? This is that subcutaneous water that comes out that you need to get out before you get here.
That's right. Yeah.
The other guys are relatively dry, which means they got rid of a lot of water last night. Hunter's still in the process, and the color will start to get a little bit sloppy there. You can't see his back. But again, that's when you get harder,
Ramy,
right?
That's right.
Side
See, Ramy
tricep.
is big and dry. Brandon, Hadi, So that's experience.
Yes.
Because this is something that Hunter has to learn.
He has to learn it.
I had to learn.
Yeah, we all went through it.
We all went through it.
This is the type of sweating you want to do in your hotel room.
That's
and
right.
in the gym, not on the Olympia stage.
Not on Olympia stage.
And Hunter's feeling it now, a combination of nerves. Look who he's standing next to.
Yeah.
He saw these guys coming up.
That just struck me just before you said it, Sean. I'm thinking how much excitement is in there right now that's causing some of this sweat when you know you've got a legit shot at top 4.
And you're standing next to Mr. Olympia in your first major call-out. A year ago, he wasn't in that top call-out, and here he is.
Back in line,
Be
please.
careful what you wish for.
Wow. Man.
All of these guys.
That was a heck of a showdown there.
I don't want to be a judge.
No.
I don't want to be a judge.
Leave me out of it.
Yeah. This is going to be decided at the end of the night.
Justin, Ian, and Akeem.
Okay, so Akeem did move up into that top 7 to 8.
And Mohammed.
And rightly so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, rightly
He's carrying
so.
enough muscle.
Yeah. I like the way he looked.
So we could potentially be looking in this call out
Mohammed and Akeem
at
switch.
5, 6, 7, 8, down all the way down. That's important.
Gentlemen, front double bicep.
Man, it looks as though Nick stays in the mirror 24/7. I mean, flexing and squeezing.
He's serious. Look at his
Relax,
face.
Justin.
Always on point.
Now, we were talking, Lee, about this at the Arnold Classic after Nick won his first Arnold Classic, about the veins underneath the kneecap and coming down, varicose veins.
Right.
Some people were saying that is a major distraction. He should be marked down for it. That looks like something that's genetic.
Yeah, that's
Front
part of
lat
his
spread.
genetic, you know. It has nothing to do with the lack of the size of calves.
Right.
You know.
The development of the physique.
Exactly. Just forget about that.
I remember Paul Dillette had him across
Side
the chest.
Right.
Gunther Schlierkamp had him down his quadriceps, and he beat Ronnie Coleman, by the way.
That's right.
But what may be a little distraction to someone on the surface has nothing to do with his physicality as a bodybuilder.
Exactly. Exactly.
What I'm really struck
Back
with,
double bicep.
even deep into this call out, is how big the delts have gotten and the width across the shoulders, across the upper chest for all of these guys. They're all so wide and so
Relax.
thick this year.
We're on the
Everyone take a
biggest
step.
stage in history, and they're bumping elbows. Go figure.
Yeah.
The biggest stage in history, we're bumping elbows.
That's right.
I mean, we need more real estate.
Back double
That's being
bicep.
competitive, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, man, move over. Get out of the way.
Nick's
I'm
got
coming
a great,
through.
He's got a great double back
Yeah,
bicep
man.
here.
Back lat spread.
He does.
He's exposing Ian's lack of calf development here. Very reminiscent of Dennis Wolf.
Right.
A little bit anemic in the calf. What is it called? The gastrocnemius?
Yeah.
Gastrocnemius.
Side
What's the inner
tricep.
part? I don't know the name of the inner part. I just call it-
Soleus.
The soleus. Good job. Chris Dickerson, the master of the soleus, along with Tom Platz.
Man.
Those are those crazy front lifts that Platz used to do.
Yeah, bananas.
Those toe raises.
But you kind of get exposed if you don't have them, and that's sometimes
Dominoes and
genetic
thighs.
too. Where William Bonek used to stand out in a lineup like this, he looks very mediocre because he's not
Your
in condition.
favorite, most
Right.
muscular.
He has some beautiful body parts.
Absolutely.
I mean, wow.
And let's not notice that we have two Arnold Classic champions from last year and this year with
Right.
William Bonek and Nick Walker. So there's kind of a rubber match. There's bragging rights right here since William missed the Arnold
Relax.
Classic
Thank
this
you,
year.
gentlemen. Back in line.
Curious to see how they place those two.
You know, you talk about staying in shape or holding it. The Arnold is going to be really quick this year. It's going to go from
Hunter,
September 25th to
Randy,
what, March?
Randy
March,
and
first week of
Hadi.
March.
That's a quick turnaround. You almost stay in
Wow.
shape for that.
There's an opportunity for some of these guys. Like Lee was saying, these guys in this top 4 call-out, someone's going to be Mr. Olympia, and that Mr. Olympia probably won't be there. So it's going to be a golden opportunity for someone to pick up a easy qualification and a big paycheck in March, and they can take the rest of the year
Yeah,
off.
that's right.
big
Hadi and
turkey,
Ramy
big
switch.
turkey dinner and come back to the Arnold.
Yeah, someone, it's ripe for someone. And remember, next year's Mr. Olympia takes place in December. So when this one concludes, they're going to have more than a year before we're gathered again for next year's
Front double
Olympia.
bicep.
That's a great shot for Brandon, and Hunter dried off.
Smart move by Hunter. Makes you look a little flat when you dry off like that.
Hadi's quads
Front
are just
lat
so
Quads are
shredded.
very good, Hadi squats.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
But in the interest of balance, Hunter's got that balance top to bottom too. And so does Brandon. Brandon really brought up
Side chest.
those spots in the upper.
Yeah, when Hadi hits the front lat spread, again, the shoulders kind of, they're funky,
Yeah.
man. It's just it's kind of a distraction.
Back double bicep.
Very good pose for Ramy on that one. Again, he sits down on it a little bit, make himself look a little smaller. I'd like to see Hunter standing next to Hadi Chupin.
Back lat spread.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've got better and better as they've posed.
That's what happens when you pose, right? I mean,
That's right.
the more you pose, the better you're supposed to get. And again, you pose long enough and you're holding water, you're going to start sweating, which our rookie over here, Hunter Labrada, is experiencing once again. He came out dry. That water's beating up on the surface. I like that side tricep on Brandon.
Abdominals and thighs.
This is going to be a tough call, guys.
I think Labrada fades in this pose.
Your favorite, most muscular.
This is one of Brandon's favorite
Brandon
poses.
killed everybody
Thank you,
with that
gentlemen.
one.
Back in line. This concludes our
Killed
confirmation
everybody with
round.
that one.
Back to
Now,
you,
Lee
Bob.
Haney,
All right,
what do you see here from the champ?
I tell you what, man.
Olympians.
If you had to make
Taper.
the call right now, right now,
You try to
need
get
know.
me in hot water, Sean.
Make that call, Lee.
I
That's
tell
why
you what,
you're here.
man. Hot is tight, tighter. Big Ramy.